y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a book haul for y'all, and it's a pretty nice one. So this is I'm calling this my Christmas book haul. My husband gave me a very nice gift card to Barnes & Nobles as one of my Christmas presents. So I just went, I was compiling and making lists and going through books and seeing which ones I really wanted, because I wanted to get this right. I didn't want to just start buying books just because I had a gift card to Barnes & Nobles. I wanted to definitely really want these books. So that's why it took me so long to purchase these books. He kept asking me, did you buy your books yet? Did you buy your books yet? I'm like, no, it takes time. So without further ado, let's check it out. I don't know which one to start with. I guess let's just start with this one. I mean, it really doesn't matter. How many books did I get? Let's see. I got 8 books with the gift card that my husband gave me. So of course I brought my best friend Debbie along with me, and she helped me compile all these books together. Okay, I just realized something. Okay, so anyway, I'll start with these two and explain why I have such this weird look on my face. But okay, so I got the other 2 books in the Arctic series by Annabeth Albert. I read recently Arctic Heat, and I really enjoyed it. So I went ahead and I knew I wanted these. So when I saw that Barnes & Nobles had both of them, I went ahead and got them. Arctic Sun is the first book in the series, and then Arctic Wild, and then Arctic Heat was the 3rd book that I read. But you can definitely read them as standalones. All these books are based in Alaska, and they're based at some sort of park in Alaska. Has to do with park rangers and then other characters. So Arctic Sun is our first book in the series, and this one I'll just read a little bit at the top. It said, he's built a quiet life for himself in Alaska, but it doesn't stand a chance against the unrelenting pull of a man who's everything he shouldn't want. So this one has to do with an ex-military guy that has become, I guess, a park ranger in this Alaskan park, and a guest comes who is, I think it's a famous guest. Supermodel, it says, comes to visit the resort, and from what it says on the back, emotions stir up. So I'm really excited to get to this one. Same with this one. This one reads, so this is Arctic Wild. This is book number 2. When a plane crashes in the Alaskan wilderness, the best place to land is in the arms of a younger man. So in this one seems might be a little different than the whole park ranger thing, but the guy is an attorney, and he goes on vacation, and his plane goes down, and his pilot, from what it sounds like, is super hot, and he's also very injured. So the attorney offers the young injured pilot he insists to come to his place to recuperate after the crash and help him get back on his feet. And I guess things start to heat up, as they all do in these books. But what I was looking at is, for some reason, the first page caught my eye, and it said page, like the page number at the top is number 33. And I was like, wait, what is happening? I'm missing 2 chapters of this book. I kind of scanned through it to see maybe if they were in the back, some sort of misprint, but I don't see them. So no, I thought maybe because it said chapter 1, but it's like a little teaser for the next book, which is Arctic Heat. Because I started reading it and I was like, wait, no, I read this already. So I'm gonna have to bring this back to the Barnes with my receipt and be like, I'm missing some pages here. Okay, so I'm glad I looked at that before it's too late to bring my book back. Okay, anyway, that was crazy. Next up, I went for Skype by Neil Shusterman. I've heard so many good things about this book. I had to check it out for myself. So this is a young adult, and we basically have a world where you do not die. Humanity has conquered all things, and there are no wars, there's no diseases. You don't die. You just live forever. So there has to be some sort of management, I guess, some sort of government to where there's not too many people in the world. So you are randomly chosen to be killed by these Skype. That just like blows my mind, and I'm so interested in what happens in this world and how this world comes about. That is just insane to me. And plus, like I said, I've heard so many good things about this series. This is the first book in the series, so I'm excited to get to it. It says on the back, "Thou shalt kill." Next on my list was A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Bridget Kammerer. I read the first book, A Curse So Dark and Lonely, and absolutely loved it. It's a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, sort of a combination of modern day and fantasy fairy tale world thrown into one book. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. I got really into it, and I can't wait to see how Prince Ren and Harper, who are Beauty and Beast, play out in this book, because the first book sort of left you hanging. So this one says, I'll just give the little blurb. I'll just read you a little blurb on the little cover here. It says, "Find the heir, win the crown, save the kingdom." It also has pictures of our characters in here. So a little bit of a story from the first book. We have a character named Gray. He is basically Prince Ren's right-hand man. And there's a little twist at the end that involves Gray. It was so good. This book is gonna be probably the storyline of pretty much Gray's story, I guess. Of course, we'll have Prince Ren and Harper, and how, you know, their characters are growing, and how their relationship is growing, if there is a relationship. But yeah, I think the main focus is going to be on Gray. But anyway, so these two, of course, sorry for the sun, it's coming in strong today. This is Prince Ren, and this is Harper. And then on the back, I'm guessing this is Gray. This has to be Gray, because he's always in his gray, his gray uniform. They talked about it a lot in the first book. I'm not sure who this is. I mean, I know who it is, but I can't remember her name. She is basically Harper's maiden, but I don't remember her name. But she plays a good role in the first book. Really, really good young adult fantasy little series. I'm super excited to see how this book plays out, and what Gray's character is up to, and how that whole thing is gonna work out. Okay, on to our next bag of books. Let's get this out. I got The Broken Girls by Simone St. James, sorry. This has been on my TBR Goodreads list for a really long time, and I just have not picked it up, have not read it in any kind of way. But I hear really good things about it. So this one sounds really interesting, because it involves two timelines, which I'm a huge fan of. So I'll go ahead and read a little bit on the back, because I don't really know exactly what this book is about. I mean, I know, sort of, but it's hard to explain. It's better if I just read it. So it says, Vermont, 1950. There's a place for the girls whom no one wants. The troublemakers, the illegitimate, the too smart for their own good. It's called Idlewood Hall, and local legend says the boarding school is haunted. 4 roommates bond over their whispered fears, their budding friendship blossoming, until one of them mysteriously disappears. Then we jump to Vermont, 2014. 20 years ago, journalist Fiona Sheridan's elder sister's body was found in the overgrown fields near the ruins of Idlewood Hall. And although her sister's boyfriend was tried and convicted of the murder, Fiona can't stop revisiting the events, unable to shake the feeling that something was never right about the case. When Fiona discovers that Idlewood Hall is being restored by an anonymous benefactor, she decides to write a story about it. But a shocking discovery during the renovations links the loss of her sister to secrets that were meant to stay hidden in the past, and a voice that won't be silenced. I mean, come on. That sounds amazing. Next, I picked up The Drowning by J.P. Smith. This is actually a very recent find for me. My best pal, Debbie, is always looking out for me and some books that she thinks I might be interested in, and she found this one. The Nook version was like on sale a couple weeks ago, so she sent it over to me and she's like, what do you think about this? Sounds pretty good. And so I read the back and I was like, that does sound really good. But anyway, I decided I wanted the actual book instead of the Nook version. So I saw that they had it. I wasn't actually, it was on my list, but I wasn't sure if I was going to get it. But as soon as I spotted it, I just ripped it off the shelf and I was like, okay, well, there's that then. I'm going to get it. But it says, every 7 years, a boy disappears from Camp Wukilo? Camp Wukilo. Wukilo? Wow. Let me start over. Every 7 years, a boy disappears from Camp Wukilo. Who will be next? It doesn't take long for a little boy to disappear. Joey Proctor can't swim, but that doesn't stop camp counselor Alex Mason from leaving him out on a raft in the middle of the lake in a fit of rage. Alex only meant to scare the kid, teach him a lesson. He didn't mean to forget about him, but now Joey is gone, and his body is never found. More than 20 years later, Alex is a success. The proof is there for everyone to see in the millions of dollars he makes, his lavish house, his beautiful wife and daughters. And no one knows what happened that summer at camp. At least, no one should know. But it looks like Joey Proctor may be back to take his revenge. Again, another timeline story, which I love. And could it be a haunting? Did Joey never die in that river? What's happening? I'm excited. Next, I picked up Conviction by Denise Minna. This is one of Reese's book club picks, I believe, for the month of December. It's been on my TBR since it came out because it just sounded really, really good. And AJ Finn blurbs it at the top. He says, a dark star of a novel, blazingly intense, up to the minute fresh, and exciting as all hell. And this sort of has to do with a podcast. It says, the day Anna McDonald's quiet, respectable life explodes starts off like all the days before. Packing up the kids for school, making breakfast, listening to yet another true crime podcast, until her husband comes downstairs with an announcement, and Anna is suddenly shockingly alone. Apparently something is going on in Anna's life with her husband, and she wants to just like block that out and get back to her true crime podcast. She wants to listen to other people's problems and dismiss hers. But when a podcast comes on and she recognizes the name of the victim, I believe, she realizes that her life just got a little bit more complicated because she knows this person. And could she be involved? I don't really know. I just kind of scanned. I've read the synopsis before, but I've just been kind of scanning through it because I couldn't remember. I knew it had to do with the podcast, and it sort of had to do with maybe her past, Anna's, something that happened in her past that she sort of put away, and now it's kind of resurfacing with this train of events, I guess. It sounded really good, so yeah, I picked this one up. This book I've seen on Rachel with A Shade of Orange's booktube channel, and I really got really interested in this book, and it's been on my TBR ever since she mentioned it on her channel. I'll link her channel down below. She reads a lot of horror. I I'm not quite there yet, but I'm so interested with everything that she reads, and I just love her. But I love watching her videos and watching and seeing what she's read and what she thinks about it, and just getting ideas of sort of like putting my toe out there in the horror world. But this is Ghoster by Jason Arnott. It's a rather a nice thick little book, but it sounded really good. And it has to do with like texting and technology, which is also something that I really like in a book when texting is going down. I just really like it. Sounds really good. So here we go. Kate Collins has been ghosted. She was supposed to be moving in with her new boyfriend Scott, but all she finds after relocating is an empty apartment. Scott has vanished. His possessions have all disappeared, except for his cell phone. Kate knows she shouldn't hack into Scott's phone. She shouldn't look at his Tinder profile, his call history, his social media accounts, but she can't help herself. That's when the trouble starts. Strange, whispering phone calls from numbers she doesn't recognize. Scratch marks on the walls that she can't explain, and the growing feeling that she's being watched. It's blurbed at the top. It says, from a masterful voice in modern-day horror comes a chilling, razor-sharp thriller for a social media-obsessed world. Prepare to never look at your phone the same way again. I'm ecstatic. I can't wait. So there's my Christmas book haul for y'all. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll list these books down below if you want to check them out for yourself. Thank you to my wonderful husband for gifting me with all of these books. He truly knows the way to my heart. He really does pay attention. He really does, because I'm from one end to the other, and he's just right along for the ride. Bless his little heart. But as always, thank y'all so much for watching. My social medias will be also linked down below. I will have another book haul for y'all coming up next, so stay tuned for that, and I will see y'all then. Y'all have a great week, y'all. Bye.